Elliot,
Hello.
we've been on the break for about a month,
Indeed, we have.
and normally when we get back from these month or so long breaks, we have a lot to talk about.
Yep.
That is not an exception today, but it's also less than I expected we were going to have to talk
I
about.
I was thinking the same thing. It's kind of been okay. G2 moves were wild, but like Liquid was kind of strange. But it was like it wasn't that crazy. I think everyone's still waiting for the Falcons to drop a big fucking bag at the end of the year, and then I think things are going to blow wide open.
So every time we have one of these roster things, last year I put out a very long Twitter thread with different moves and charts and showing like how people move there. And every time we get to one of these off seasons recently, I've gone and looked at it and gone, should I make one?
Yeah,
and I
kind of agree.
It just didn't feel like it was worth it to make one. We had like 4 teams make moves, and most of them were like, we're going to move one player.
Yeah, most of the big teams, like FaZe stayed the same, Vitality stayed the same, Astralis stayed the same, Spirit stayed the same, like Mouse stayed the same.
Yeah.
All the moves were on the teams trying to get to that level, and it's like, well, fine. There's none that, like, I think G2 was the team where I'm like, oh, I really want to watch this team. I don't think there was any other that made me... Oh, got a ping. I don't think there was any other move that made me think, damn, I really have to watch this team. Like, when's their first game? I need to be plugged in. I need to be watching this. Like, I don't think there was another move like that.
And to be fair, there hasn't been a huge amount of time to watch recently. I guess let's start with the actual content of the podcast. So there's only been one tournament that's happened since we've been away.
Do we not need to roll the music first?
Oh yeah, we should roll the music. That happens here. This is what happens when you don't podcast for a month.
Yeah, it's good job I'm on the ball. I'm ready to host.
The problem is when we started this, I was really ready to say, I was ready to do a quicker than something.
Oh yeah,
which we haven't done in about a year or so.
Oh, it would have been very nostalgic. One for the day ones.
So we've got one tournament happened while we were away. One tournament's about to happen. We're going to leave Blast Premier Fall to next week. I know it will be partially done by the time we do it, but we've got some stuff happening now.
Yeah, it's fine.
And realistically, we don't have that much time to record because Elliott's making food. So,
well, I'm not making food, but there is food being made.
There's food being made. Okay.
Yeah.
Esports World Cup happened while we were away.
It did.
It happened.
I mean, Esports World Cup was interesting because we did get our first look at G2.
Yeah,
so a good look.
I think the way let's do this is we'll talk about the teams that were here, and as we talk about them, we'll say, did they change anything? And what were we expecting?
What happened? Yeah.
So let's start at the bottom for Esports World Cup.
Yeah.
JJ Howe International. They did exactly as good as expected, and I love them for it.
From what I gather, wasn't one of their players like the highest rated in the event or something because he played 2 maps? I think it was Osama's or something. He had like a 1.9 rating.
Yeah, Osama's. He played 1 map, and he was a 1.98 rating on said map.
Yeah, so he was the highest rated player in the tournament. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's just awesome.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah,
have to respect the hustle.
What can you say about it?
Exactly.
Okay, FlyQuest ending 12-15th. Kind of expected here. There's a good chunk of teams I would have liked to see them end 10th, 11th, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
MIBR also down here, same shtick. None of these teams have.
I'm kind of bored of MIBR being at big events. I have to be honest.
So am I. I feel like MIBR just kind of they were good, and it was nice to see them good.
They feel like they're constantly treading water.
It also feels like MIBR is a team that we like to watch because Insani was there and he could do all this stuff. And then they brought Safe and Drop in from Furia, and we went, okay, now they've got a really solid opper. Drop isn't the worst player in the world. They've got good pieces, and they just feel like they've been really disappointing.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's better teams in Brazil that you can invite to events.
MIBR are good, and they will always be one of the best teams in Brazil. But ironically, Safe is a very safe choice for that role. Where it's like, we know how good Safe is.
Yeah.
We know how good Drop is. I don't think there's ever going to be a point where they're on a team that's ever going to be good enough to break the level that MIBR are currently at. They've hit a glass ceiling, and they have Insani, who is capable of the sublime, but he's kind of on his own. Yeah.
It's not even every map. It's not every other map.
No,
it's once in a while, he just kind of he does stuff, and it's incredible.
Insani's really fun to watch, and he's. Would you know what I mean if I said he's a streets won't forget player?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a streets won't forget player.
He's Jeremy Lin or
NBA
champion Patrick McCaw.
Exactly.
Or,
he's not good enough to be Dimitri Payet. He's like Adel Tarab. Like, he has really high peaks, and he's really fun to watch. But over the course of a tournament, he'll do that twice, and the other games you won't notice he's there. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's plenty of streets won't forget players.
Yeah,
he
is, and it's kind of that's not his fault. Like kind of his role is to be that. He's just surrounded by players who aren't quite good enough to break through that glass ceiling. I'm kind of bored of MIBR.
Yep, I'm in the same place. The other 12th, 15th team was the surprising one of them. The more surprising, that would be Complexity.
Yeah.
Who, we can't even make excuses for. Right, their first round match was against M80.
No, that was their.
That was their last chance stage.
That was the last chance game.
Their opening match was Complexity, and then their opening match was Virtus Pro. Jesus fucking Christ, this is what happens.
I mean, Virtus Pro, not only a tough team to play against, not a lot of tape on them with electronic, and they've changed tack quite a bit. I think losing to Virtus Pro is like fine. Losing to M80 is pretty unforgivable. But it is a best of one. It's a first event of the. I'm not ready to completely write off Complexity.
I'm not ready to write them off. I'm not ready to write them off, but we'll talk about M80 in a second. And there's a reason why they should have definitely beaten M80, right? The other 10th, 11th team, one of the other 10th, 11th teams, Sashi. They were
fine.
Actually, I think they overperformed this event.
They performed about what I expected them to.
I would have expected them to be in the bottom bit with FlyQuest and JJ.
Yeah, I guess saying above FlyQuest and MIBR, you're pretty happy with that.
I mean, they beat JJ How. I mean, I guess that's going to be your win, but they won. They got a win.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about teams that more people will care about now. We'll start with M80. They did make a move.
Yeah.
Well, they were forced to make a move. So, we said before the break, it was rumored that Mobs was leaving to go to G2. That did happen. So M80 had to fill the slot with a pond-based player. No, sorry. I was going to try and make some puns.
Lakes are bigger than ponds.
Lakes are bigger than ponds, but I was trying to fill the spot, and I was going to be some water joke.
I was surprised there wasn't a joke about Lake beating Jason Lake or something. When they beat Complexity.
Oh, that's not bad.
But
someone should.
I couldn't really workshop it to an acceptable level, and I wasn't that bothered.
Yeah.
But I was like, there's a joke there somewhere. But
so yeah, Lake. He comes from Carpe Diem, which is an NA, a group of players. Who have played together.
There's no such thing as a team in North America.
No, it's the IGL was Walco for a little bit, then it was Wiz. There's a bunch of players there that have either turned into something or have been decently good players.
Carpe Diem were pretty decent by NA standards. They were not
the old Carpe Diem that became EG something. Yeah. I don't know which EG they became, but
EG Sword or EG Shield.
What was it? It was a black, white, gold, and blue or some shit.
I can't remember.
I think it was EG Black, but I could be very wrong. That Carpe Diem team was very good. This Carpe Diem team is still good, but different kind of thing.
Yeah. Lake seems pretty good though.
Lake does seem very good.
We've not seen. Or I've not seen much of him. I've never watched him on Carpe Diem. His first event with M80 looked pretty good.
He's not going to
He's
be
not
Malbs,
Malbs, but he's in the same positions and makes a lot of the same plays, and he's pretty fun to watch. Like, worth keeping an eye on.
He's not Malbs, but I don't think that anyone could have fit Malbs roles other than Malbs and Nico, who
not
like,
that there's
in the
certainly
same
nobody
way.
that M80 could sign. Yeah,
Yeah, in the same way. And I think Lake is, first of all, NA talent, which if you're M80 and you want to continue with your ed dollars,
they
we
needed
talked about this before
yeah.
with NRG, but NRG sponsors are in the US.
Yep.
Want US viewership. If M80 wants the US viewership, bring in another US talent.
I'd say quite an astute move, actually.
I think this was the best move they could have made.
Yeah, I kind of
and
agree.
I'm very happy with it. They ended 10th, 11th, but they did get their win over Complexity, and that's a win.
Statement.
The Mongols did not make any moves. They're still very good, though. This tournament did not show that.
Yeah. I mean, we think they're still good.
I will continue to have faith in the Mongols.
I was at a wedding this weekend. I know this sounds completely unrelated, but I was talking
related.
So a lot of the people I started watching CS with, like playing CS with,
are getting married.
No longer watch anymore and don't play it, or don't play a lot less frequently.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to one who hasn't watched since about 2018, and one of the things I was like, oh, who do you know that's still playing? And I was like, Snacks has just joined G2 with Nico. That's funny. Because that's completely insane. Somebody from 2018, and I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a top 10 team from Mongolia," and he just sort of looked at me like, "Are you joking?" I'm like, "No, there really is. Like, there's actually a top 10 team from Mongolia." That's why I was bringing it up.
Excellent. I do like the Mongols.
Yeah,
we'll see how they can keep going.
All right, but they did lose to a Brazilian team, which they never used to do. So bring back score, I say.
I think this version of the Mongols is the best. I think statistically, this version of the Mongols is the best.
Oh yeah, no, of course
Please
it is.
Do not bring back score.
Yeah, of course it is.
All right, let's talk about teams that did a little bit better. The 5th through 8th slots were Spirit, Vitality, FaZe, and Furia. The reason I went through them quickly, Vitality, Spirit, and FaZe did not make any moves.
Yeah, maybe they should have.
Maybe they should have, but it is what it is.
First event of the year, first event of the season. There's always a little bit of rustiness, especially with FaZe who are old.
I don't
expect a bit of creak in the bones.
I don't expect any I think this is roughly where I expected all of them. All of the teams that finished top 8, I kind of expected to be top 8, with the exception of Furia, which we'll get to in a second.
I will say it's both Rops and Donk went negative, which is rare for one of them too.
I think it was just a first starter tournament of the season. People took breaks.
It's worth keeping an eye on, though.
I also
Donk actually is washed.
I do have to ask how serious a lot of teams were taking this event.
Yeah, I agree. Do you know who Jeff Francoeur is?
No.
Okay, Jeff Francoeur is a baseball player who in his first month hit
baseball. I'm sorry, you're quoting baseball shit to me?
Yeah,
I just assumed he was a football player.
No, Jeff Francoeur is a baseball player. He was called The Natural by Sports Illustrated because in his first month he hit 12 home runs or something ridiculous. He was batting at this insane level, and then he was just never ever good again. Just worth keeping in mind when it comes to Donk is all. That's all I'm saying.
You know the insane thing? I've Googled him. He was playing for the Mets.
Yeah.
I'm currently
wearing a Mets shirt. Yeah.
This is a true travesty. I'm really showing a fake fan here.
I only know who he is from a video I want. There was a guy I used to watch. He used to make videos on American sports. Really interesting. He's like Jeff Francoeur's his favorite baseball player because he's absolutely terrible. But for his first month, he was unbelievable. I'm just saying, Donk was unbelievable at IEM Katowice. That's all I'm saying.
Let's chat about Furia. So they were the other 5th, 8th team. They lost to Maus in the quarters. They won against Mongols to make it to last chance stage. They lost to NaVi in the opener. We'll talk about NaVi in a minute.
But... they've lost to 2 very good teams and beat another pretty good team.
Yeah, which is reasonable. But they're Furia, so what the fuck happened here?
Furia have always got it within them.
No. What the fuck happened here is alluding to what have they done in the offseason? Because this is our first team that's actually made real moves.
Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot they made a move. Wait.
Yeah, so they got rid of Kai.
Oh, yeah.
Who was
That's what they did.
Probably the worst player in Tier 1 for a while. you're foreshadowing that Liquid have been moves. They brought Skulls in from Liquid, and Skulls looks a hell of a lot better on this team than he did on
Yeah,
Liquid.
funny that. It's almost like he's not actually that bad. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm insane. I feel like he's fine.
I think he's fine.
Like he's a good player.
I think he is very okay, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Furia did not need another like superstar player. They just needed someone who was consistently okay.
Yeah, but I think Skulls was kind of a star player on Pain.
I think
he's a good
Pain
player, man. Like, I don't know. Liquid have a lot to answer for him. Like, it's not the first time a player has looked worse on Liquid than they look elsewhere. Maybe his level is just not quite Liquid, and Furia aren't quite Liquid.
I mean,
neither were Pain, but like,
there's also
he's pretty good.
He doesn't have to deal with translating. They're all
there
speaking Portuguese. He gets to go back and live with a bunch of Brazilian people and gets to kind of go back to his culture. When you playing with Liquid is its own weird thing because you're splitting time between the US and the Netherlands, and you're playing on this international org that is truly international, right? Like we talk about like international Europe teams, like Maus and FaZe, but Liquid's its own brand of international here.
Definitely.
It's got to be a totally different thing for him, and so there's
obviously there are different circumstances, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think Schools was pretty hard done by with the way people looked at him, and I'm glad to see him land on his feet. I hope he continues to improve.
I tend to agree. Virtus Pro and Maus were the third, fourth team, as we alluded to before. Maus did not make any changes. Virtus Pro did not make any changes.
Nope.
Virtus Pro.
Well, they made changes just before the break. But...
Virtus Pro's change was the electronic thing. Back when Cloud9 were figuring out what they wanted to be. Yeah. That change is continuing into now, and they look better than they did then.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little apprehensive with Virtus Pro. I don't like that they changed their style. It was that was A, what made them Virtus Pro. B, I think it was their best chance of being good. I don't know, 'cause they do have a lot of talent on that team, but I do think their best chance of beating a genuine top team is having their own style like that. I think it's hard for them to play the same style as everyone else and be the best. Maybe I'm completely off base because they do have a lot of talent, but
I think with the addition of electronic, it becomes less of an issue. I think if they had stayed,
if you were adding electronic when he was 23, I agree with you.
Okay, but I think with even with current form electronic, you're adding a true superstar to this team, or someone who is supposed to be a true superstar. Let's put it that way. Okay, in which Jame has never really had a true superstar. The Jame teams have always been a collection of players who are better who together are better than the sum of their parts. It's like it's an enhanced big roster. Or the old big roster.
Yes, but I also think right now, Flit is probably better than Electronic as a superstar. So
I agree, but I'm kind of there's some amount to me that looks at this and goes, well, you know what? Maybe Electronic under Jame can kind of get his shit together and just push through this and really like.
I mean, maybe.
I
would have liked to have seen Electronic in James' system instead of Electronic changing VP. But I'm a fan of James' style, so
I think that the problem is we keep looking at Electronic as if he's just out of the Cloud9 project. He is just out of the Cloud9 project. But you know how we keep saying that like people that go to OG or Fnatic for a bit, we just have to forget that time existed. It may be that we just have to forget that Electronic's time on Cloud9 existed.
Yeah, it's not entirely unreasonable.
Well, time will tell. Now, like this is a big time will tell one because we will look at this in 2 months and go, yeah, no, Electronic's great again. It's that time on Cloud9.
Yeah, entirely possible. I look like an idiot. Like, and that wouldn't be the first time, but like. No. It's entirely possible that this move works. Virtus Pro are the best team in the world, and Electronic's the best player in the world. But I don't know. It's kind of a shame. Virtus Pro are one of the few truly unique teams in Tier 1. And I think it's a shame to lose that.
I agree.
It's like if Barcelona just started playing like Real Madrid, you're like, oh, well, actually, it kind of happened. But like when Barcelona won everything, playing this like insanely different style to everyone else, and then they just completely changed tack. You're like, that was what made you Barcelona. I don't know.
It's the Warriors. Everyone started playing.
Everyone started playing, yeah. Midget ball.
Same shtick. The top two teams.
Yeah.
G2 took second place, and NaVi took first place.
Yep.
I don't want to gloss over a NaVi victory.
Oh, absolutely not. We'll talk about that.
We will talk about that in a minute. But G2, in the context of people that made roster moves conversation, made two big roster moves. They switched out Nexa and Huxi for Malbs and Snacks, not Taz. And they got better, but I don't know by how much.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Because like they did win IEM Dallas.
Yes.
It's like we know that the core of Nico, Hunter, Monacy is capable of winning an event if they show up, regardless of who's around them.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Mabs is a pretty significant upgrade on Nexa, albeit I don't know exactly how the roles work now. Like Mabs is like a big site anchor, which people kind of shit on. I think he's kind of perfect to be like at tier 1 level. Big site anchor is like A, it's a good role. Mm-hmm. B, it's a very, very aim heavy role. I think from what I remember, I remember Rops was very, very good at that position on Mousesports. So, for example, A site on Mirage, Rops was unbelievable on that site. I think Rain plays it on FaZe. Like these are not like they're not superstar players. Positions, but these are players like with incredible mechanics. And Malbs was very aggressive on M80, but I don't necessarily think. I actually think players with mechanics like Malbs has, the perfect headshot aim, like snappy, like flicks head to head. I actually think big site anchors, even small site anchors, but big site anchors are actually kind of perfect for them. And I do think Malbs is malleable enough. Like he's willing to learn. I think he respects. Like when you like sort of see him talk to other players, that you see there's a level of respect he has for people at the top tier, where I think he will listen and he will be willing to take a backseat for Nico because I think he respects him. And he's also talented enough to do these roles. I actually think it can kind of work. And I also think that Falcons are going to sign Nico and then he's going to be put in Nico's roles in 6 months. But for now, for him to get accustomed to this level, I actually don't hate it too much.
No, I don't hate it at all. I mean, ratings throughout, so Snacks over the event was a 0.95. That's not a huge difference over any other IGL.
No.
It's fine. I will say that Snacks does bring one of the most important qualities to this G2 lineup that I don't think it had before.
Aura.
I was just going to say a huge amount of just personality after their first game.
And also an actual gravitational pull. He is huge. He's a big man.
After the first game that they played, Snacks had an interview with Freya, and Freya asked what the relationship with Taz was, and Snacks immediately goes, "Oh, I love how he gives us rides in his Mercedes," and starts talking about how much he loves Taz.
As soon as Snacks learned how to speak English really well, he just became the funniest man on the planet.
He's just a shit talker, and I love him. Yeah. I love him for it. What more did you need? That team. The team has personality, because obviously Nico is there, but it's a different kind of personality.
Yeah.
It is a offbeat. Snacks is, I'm going to shit talk in your face, and I'm just going to be the funniest guy in the room, and it's perfect. Yeah. That's what they needed. I'm here pretty for much. It. NaVi won.
Yeah,
they were very good.
Yeah, NaVi have this gear they can kick into, and when they kick into it, they're nearly unstoppable. I've been an Alexi B hater for a long time. I feel like I have to revoke that now and be like, yeah, fair enough. This team, he's finally, in my eyes, he's finally shown how good a leader he can be with this team, because this team is nasty.
This team is Bit has been very good for a very long time, and they have put players around Bit.
Oh yeah, he's brought Bit back to that level, which was nice, because Bit seemed to get a little bit lost.
EMA has not come back to the level of Gamer Legion Major EMA.
He doesn't need to.
But no one cares, because JL has found this other gear.
Yeah. JL hit
JL found another gear that he didn't have on Apex. Wonderful has been a good enough opper.
I don't think good. Yeah.
I think he's very good. I don't think he's the second coming of Simple. There was a lot of
but I think he's a better fit for this team than Simple would have been.
But I was gonna say, I don't think this team needs superstar opper. This team just needs.
It has one though. I really think Wonderful is. Are there 3 better oppers than him in the world?
Yes.
Name them.
Monazi.
Yeah.
Zaihu.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'd say that Torzi's a better opper.
I think that's reasonable. I mean,
I'd say Shiro could be considered a better opper.
I think Wonderful's better than Shiro. I honestly.
I don't think
I think Torzi Wonderful is close. I think Torzi Wonderful is close. I think it's really close.
I don't think Device is better. I don't think Hollis. No, I'm just going through the list, right? I don't think there are that many better oppers. I'd say
I think he's 3rd or 4th. I think he's 3rd or 4th in the world.
And
some Pius has fallen off quite a bit.
The stupid question is, do we really count Zaiwu as an opper?
Well, I mean, that is reasonable. I mean, he is probably a better AWPer than Wonderful.
No, he is. But is he an AWPer anymore?
Is he an AWPer? Yeah, I mean, I would still consider Zaiwu an AWPer, but I understand there is an element there is a question at what point is he not an AWPer?
If you go pure AWPers and don't talk about the players who play both, it's Monazi and then
Torzi
Wonderful.
In whatever order you like.
Shiro up there too, but
I think Wonderful's better than Shiro.
I think Shiro's behind that pack.
I think so.
But yeah, no, he's very good. I'm not sure if he's top 3. It's close in there.
He's very close, if not.
But yeah,
really good.
This team is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. They've answered every single question you could have had about NaVi twice now. And they're just a really, really good team.
I think there's one more important bit we have to talk about here, which is Counter-Strike got an update the other day that has finally given NaVi their in-game trophies.
Which JL had been twirling for.
Definitely looking for.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to the rest of the team moves that have happened, I do want to take a quick break from teams and talk about something that hasn't happened in a couple of years within the Counter-Strike community since a tournament called Gamers Paradise.
Right. I think, okay, I do know what you're getting at. Yeah, okay.
So Gamers Paradise was a tournament that happened many, many years ago and was an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
PCs weren't there. All the teams got there, but there wasn't much more than the teams physically being there. A tournament in India called Skyesports Championship 2024. I really want to read that as Skyesports, but I know it's not Skyesports. Is playing right now in Mumbai, India. They started yesterday. All the matches were delayed by a very large chunk due to technical issues. We started to see photos coming out of the event, and they were definitely questionable. There was power off. Vetoes were being done over the phone, not over Discord, but the teams called each other and did vetoes because they couldn't do it any other way.
Amazing.
BetBoom has already stepped out of the tournament. So they are now playing an 11-team tournament.
Yep. So it's definitely worth looking at the pictures of some of the setups they sent.
Yes, it is. Now the teams that are there aren't the greatest teams in the world. It's Mongols, Eternal Fire, formerly BetBoom, Aurora, Ents, 3D Max, Omcall, Bleed, DMS.
It's not a bad tournament.
Well, and then we start getting into DMS, Parry Vision, Revenant, which is the NBK Nevera Lounx project.
God, I forgot that team existed.
Yep.
Don't
And
bring
then
that
there
back
is
up.
an Indian team there, probably through the India closed qualifier. But there's been a lot of teams a lot of teams have actually withdrawn over like months and months and months. Because I'm pretty sure Liquid was originally invited to this. I'm pretty sure, I know for certain that Furia was supposed to be here and they withdrew.
Looks like they made a smart decision.
Yeah, it seems that the tournament is now running correctly, but keep your eyes vaguely on this because it's interesting. Yeah. All right, let's get back to the rest of the.
Yeah, let's go quick fire.
Yeah, we only got a couple more.
What else is there? Yeah, we went through all the big ones, I think. So.
Well, we're going to start with the biggest one, Imperial. They switched out Henny for Try.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm in for it.
I like Henny a lot as well, but Try's pretty good.
Yep, that's it. That's
I would say we've missed the biggest one, which
no,
is Liquid.
I'm going to leave. There's two big ones that we've got left. Yeah. Let's talk about Monty first. They definitely did some swaps here. They brought in Hades and Diha.
Yeah, weird. I like it, but weird.
In for Haji and Waro. We don't have a location for Waro right now. He is teamless. I'm not sure if I expect him to be teamless.
I wonder where you're going. Like, is he? You don't have a location for him. Are we supposed to be stalking him?
He's teamless right now.
Okay.
I don't know where he will go, if anywhere.
He's decent. Like, I feel like he should find a team. He's pretty decent.
I feel like he should too, but I'm not certain.
I think he might be a little bit difficult to work with. Maybe, I don't know. He gives off that.
He gives off a vibe.
I think he's just Eastern European. I think that's just kind of how they are.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel too much about this Monty team. I don't think they've had a match.
They're now a Polish team, which is interesting.
Yeah, feels weird because they have the Ukrainian flag in the middle. Yeah, the logo still.
But they're a Polish team now.
Yeah. All right. The two teams that did actual moves. Let's start with Liquid. So Liquid, as per before the break, they were minus Zeus, minus Skulls, minus Cadian. So they needed a new coach, a new Opper, and a new IGL. They found that IGL internally. They decided to have Twist to IGLing, which Jury will be out for about the next million years.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it either.
I'm Jury still out on it.
Yeah,
I'm going to need to see. Their Opper is a relatively unknown prospect named Ultimate. He is Polish. Yeah. He does come with some pretty good accolades. Number one, Pasha vouches for him.
Nice.
That he actually did the Pasha London School like workout regiment thing with Pasha. There's like before and after pictures. It's excellent.
Amazing.
He does come from Illuminar, which is a pretty decent team in Poland. That's about all we know, but there's some plus reps here from a lot of players. Apparently Pasha tried to get Fnatic to sign him a couple of years ago, and
I'm pretty sure I've watched him play a few times and I thought he was quite good, but
we'll see.
It should be. It's a pretty significant step up to Liquid, but
they've tried this before, but I also have more faith this time, and I don't know why.
Well, I think they don't have any other choice. I think Ultimate is kind of the best choice out of the you were better off taking a gamble on Ultimate than going for a known quality. I'd originally heard they were trying to get Nikodos, and I was like, I don't
like Nikodos.
That sounds bad. I don't mind Nikodos, he's fine, but we know he's good. We know how good Nikodos is. The other there are other known qualities around they could have got. I think taking a gamble is the best choice, and Ultimate seems like quite a smart gamble. Time will tell. JKS, on the other hand, complete known quality, but also that's
the other player. We didn't get there.
Yeah.
The other player is JKS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very solid. JKS, Twist, NAF, you know exactly what you're getting from them, and it's pretty fucking good. That is a really, really good rifle core.
I'm curious to see if JKS plays a role that we have seen from him a lot, or if he transitions to more of a role that we saw him play when he was subbing in for FaZe. Because when he subbed in for FaZe, he played Rop's roles and then he played Rain roles, or vice versa.
I don't think he'll be Renegades JKS because that's NAF.
He doesn't need to be Renegades.
No. But my point, I don't think he'll be the superstar baiting everyone. I think he will be more of a glue player again.
I'm a little concerned of roles, but just a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I've seen JKS play about 17 different types of roles.
Yeah. We've seen Twist play every role as well.
We know for certain that Twist can play every single type of role.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in NaF and his ability to play his role, and I do not. Yeah. There's nothing behind that. I am hoping that Yakindar can remember how to play the video game, and if that can happen, then Ultimate just needs to play op.
In theory, piece for piece, this team is really stacked.
In theory,
but that hasn't always worked out. Yeah.
I would like to say I have a lot of faith in their new coach. Mither is their new coach, who was a Mouse coach for a bit, and then the Apex coach for a bit.
Mither seems very intelligent. I think he was on Apex Rebels, actually.
He was on Apex Rebels, then he was on Apex.
Oh, okay. He seems a very intelligent guy when I've heard him talk. His resume is kind of hit and miss. He was also on North, let's not forget.
He was on Renegades with JKS in 20... Well, actually, was this... I don't know if JKS played on Renegades in 2020. No, he didn't.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, because at that point, there were 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
or Extremum.
I think he's good, but I'm not certain. It's really hard with coaches.
There's a big gap in his coaching career between Tricked, which was in 2016, and North. And the reason I say this is I'm pretty sure he went to go teach kids how to play Counter-Strike.
Yeah, which is a real job in Scandinavia.
In Denmark.
A friend and somebody who helped a little bit with the magazine, a friend of mine, Jonas, in Sweden, is an esports teacher of like 15-year-olds, which is a really cool job.
Yeah.
He teaches kids how to play Counter-Strike.
But he was that in between. So I have full faith that he will be able to control this team. If you can control kids, you can control adults. Maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't always work like that.
Hoping and praying here, man. I will have to see. Jerry will continue to be out on this team for about ever. All right. And then there's one more team that made moves. It's Cloud9. So let me remind you what the Cloud9 roster was the last time they have played the game.
Yeah.
It was Hobbit, Axile, Electronic, Perfecto, and Boomich. Electronic is gone. Perfecto is benched. Hobbit is benched. Instead, they have brought in Heavy God from OG.
Very good.
Very good player. Icy from Paravision.
Which I think is good.
From Omcall, sorry, which is its own thing. There was some quibbling over the break about Icy trying out for a team and not telling Paravision, and Paravision being upset and benching Icy, and then Icy just leaving anyway. It was a whole thing. And the Photoshop mockups for this fifth player have been very good. I was very surprised with the quality of them. A relatively unknown guy named Inters. It's a really good Photoshop of him in Cloud9 jerseys.
I feel like this team's really underwhelming.
I feel like this team would be better if they took Inters out and put Perfecto in.
I feel like most teams are better if you just have Perfecto in for their fifth player, to be fair.
Yeah, but they got Perfecto on the bench here. Like, what are you doing?
Well, true, yeah. Perfecto is just Inters, but good. I don't know.
Heavy God's
really good, but I feel like he's kind of wasted on this. It just feels like another purgatory team to me. I don't know.
Let me remind you where Inters was playing before this, okay?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
He was on the bench for Team Solo Mid.
That's the thing, right? Like, if he hadn't already played for Cloud9, and they went and picked up a player who was benched on TSM that hadn't already played for them, you'd think they were fucking mental. You'd think they were insane for doing that.
Yep.
Like, okay,
no, I still think they're insane for doing this.
If instead of Inters, they had Jax in that spot, say Jax knew Russian, they put Jax in that spot, you go, what the hell are you doing? Because that's exactly the same situation.
Yep.
And they've got Perfecto on the bench. What's happening? Unless Icy is really, really, really good, I just don't think this team's good enough. I
I'd like
just
to
don't think there's
remind
enough
you,
firepower.
Icy was responsible for that game against NIP on Overpass.
Let's not talk about that. I don't want to bring that up again.
And if you're concerned about Hobbit, like I was, as a true Hobbit lover, Hobbit is playing on one win, which is just a Kazakh team now with him, Nealon, and Buster, and I'm all for it.
Sounds about as good as a Cloud9. It doesn't, but like,
it's got Ryujin and Laddie KK on Laddie KK on it. It can't be terrible. It can't be terrible. It probably won't be terrible.
It can be terrible. It probably will be terrible. Is there any other big moves we need to talk about?
There's no other big move. I mean, TSM's roster is now Danish.
I don't care. I just don't care.
The only reason I say is because I happen to have the thing open for them.
They got Valde, right?
They do have Valde, which means they're going to be a mediocre team at best. Nico doesn't.
Yeah, Roy, I like Valde, but like every team he's on is just bad for no reason.
Nico does and Roy are on Gaming Gladiators now, which is the static team.
Yeah.
Don't know if that'll transfer into anything. Regon is on Big now.
They can sign Hooksy and remake Copenhagen Flames.
Oh god. Regon is on Big now.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
It's
a player who has absolutely no interest in playing tactical Counter-Strike on a team that has only interest in playing tactical Counter-Strike. Could be fun.
Into the Breach finished their roster.
Oh god, yeah.
Smooya, Chaos, Juan Flatro, Synopsy, and Boros.
Look, if it didn't have Smooya on, I would love this team. Boros and Juan Flatro. I love this team. But then it has Smooya and I just can't support them.
Tyloo put another player onto their bench. And I'll leave us off with the last one here. Bleed added Nexa the second that Nexa was available.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fair enough, honestly.
No, it's fair enough.
He's clearly good enough for that level.
I was so prepared for the plus Hooksy.
No, there's no way.
I know there's no way, but there's got to be a way, right?
I just thought I'd check just in case. BN Tet is currently without a team.
The GOAT.
Just in case you're wondering. He hasn't gone anywhere.
The absolute. I mean, the last team he played for was I forgot.
He played
for that Bigatron lineup that had wasn't this?
He also played for Alter Ego.
This was the lineup with 2 Americans on it for no reason.
He was on NKT with Exine, Gratisfaction, and Urcast.
You mean the was that the Asian super team that never played a match we ever saw?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? Yeah, we're in the depths now.
Yeah, we've gone too deep. We're gonna end it off here. We will see you all next week. We're back on a bi-weekly basis. We are back on a weekly basis now.
Yeah, twice bi-weekly.
Twice bi-weekly up until the next.
Fortnightly, I suppose.
Oh boy. We're going to get going. You can find us on Twitter at LoganRamp, at AZS, and at ReedTLDR. Back in next week.
See ya.